Yeah, good evening, folks. You join us on Friday, the 29th of August 2025, for a preview for tomorrow's game at Molineux, Wolves versus Everton. Wolves are pointless after three fixtures. The first game, losing 4-0 home to Man City. The second game, losing 1-0 away at Bournemouth when we had the captain, Totti Gomez, sent off. And the third game now, hopefully we'll start picking up points, but we are buoyed by a midweek win in the Carabao Cup, where we beat also struggling West Ham 3-2. But it's good to get a win under our belt because winning is a habit. And also, we got our first goals of the season. Rodrigo Gomez was the scorer of that goal. And our striker, Larson, Jurgen Strand Larsen, scored two. It's been an eventful week for him, with all the speculation about him moving to Newcastle, with Wolves turning down a £50 million bid and a £55 million bid, and the chairman, Jeff Shee, coming up publicly saying that Larson won't be sold in this window. So it's been, one way or another, an eventful week. So there's a lot to talk about on this game, this fixture. So Jacko, we're playing against Everton tomorrow, and from Tuesday night's lineup, what changes would you like to see made? Because let's find Wolves' lineup on Tuesday night. Yeah, Wolves' lineup on Tuesday night was Sam Johnson in goal. The back three, Mosquera, Agbadu and Santiago Bueno. The wing backs, Rodrigo Gomez on the right, Hugo Bueno on the left. Midfield, Bellegarde and Andre. Just behind Wang, the lone striker, was Arias and Fer Lopez, and up front was Wang Hee-chan. The formation was 3-4-2-1, Jacko. So what changes would you like to see, and what changes do you think we'll see?
Changes I'd like to see. I mean, against West Ham, we played very, very well indeed. I really do think we played well, and at the end of the day, we won 3-2 anyway, albeit it was for the subs. But I'll probably drop Santiago Bueno and put Totti Gomez back in. I believe he's now available. I would probably drop Bellegarde, put Rodrigo Gomez into that place, still dropping Andre and putting Jackson Tachawa in place to cover that wing. And then up front, I would probably drop Huang and put a Sasa in, and probably put I'd like to see Lopez in too up front, along with who played on the I'm just trying to think who it was. So it'd be Arias, Arias, Sasa, and Lopez, the three up
What
front.
about you haven't included Joe Gomez?
Yes,
in midfield?
obviously I'll go with Joe Gomez. Yeah, without a doubt, I'll go with Joe Gomez. Was in the start 11 against West Ham, wasn't he?
He was. He
Yeah,
started
yeah.
all
So I'd still keep Joe
all
Gomez
both
in,
league games,
without
no
a doubt.
problem.
But I
So
don't know.
you'd have Andre and Gomez in midfield, the two Brazilian
No, I
terriers.
probably wouldn't actually. I'd put RG in there instead of Andre, because I think there's still a bit of, from what I gather, I don't know. Obviously, I'm not there, but from what I gather, there's still a bit of there's issues with Andre at the moment. That's why he was dropped. He's not 100% there. Don't know what the issues were, but I still.
Training, apparently. Yeah,
Say again,
Bellegarde has
sorry.
been giving more than him in training. He said the manager said that nobody has just the right just to walk into the team. They have to earn their place. They have
Yeah,
to show will.
and
They
for
have to
me,
show effort. They have to show a good attitude.
yeah, for me, that's what Rodrigo's shown. He's shown that he wants to be in the team. He's playing really good. But Andre at the moment, he's got no good given right. So, and Joa seems to, he never seems to be big-headed when he's on the pitch. So, put Gomez and the two Gomez, Rodrigo Gomez and Joe Gomez in the midfield with Jackson and Hugo Bueno there too, and then up front with Arias Lopez and Sasa. I mean, when Lawson came on against West Ham, yeah, he scored 2 great goals, and he was, he got the service, but they weren't that great at the back, West Ham, and he got into some good positions. The issue I've got with Strand Larson is the fact that he gets into positions quite a lot, but he can't finish all the time, or most of the time. And that's the kind of issue I got with Larson. I know I'm a big critic of his, but that's what it is. It's just that with Larson. Well, Sosa, or Sasa, sorry, however you pronounce it, seems to be, he just seems to be quite, he's got that bit between. He's playing quite well at the moment, and he's clearly working out in the gym, because he's got a bit, he seems to have got a bit broader, and he can hold the ball up. Do you know what I mean? And I think he's got that bit more pace than Larson. What do you think about that? Do you think Sosa's got a bit more
Well, I
pace?
think he's better with the ball at his feet than Larson, because
Yeah,
when he came on as sub against Celta Vigo, and looking at some of the other ones on TV, when he's come on, he's looked good. But the only issue I had with him at Celta Vigo was that he got himself into a couple of good positions where he could have shot, but he laid the ball off.
yeah,
But
yeah,
he did well the other night when he came on, because him and Larson, albeit a brief appearance, they seemed to strike up a good partnership, and he held up the ball well. I don't know if it was the second goal or the third goal, but he did
yeah.
hold the ball up well and laid it off. I think it was probably to Arias,
Mm,
who also was involved in all 3 goals. Well, the 2 goals in open play, and the ball to Bellegarde, which resulted in a penalty. So
mm.
it was a useful workout. And also, the another change we could make is, well, we will likely to make, is Johnston go back on the bench and
Yeah,
Sarr back
yeah,
in goal.
yeah.
But so hang on. So that was Tuesday's lineup. Again, I'll go back to last Saturday's.
Mm.
Uh, last Saturday's. Hang on. Scores.
I think
Right.
I've got a strange feeling that he might go with how we played the 11 last Saturday, and
Yeah.
put
Let's have a look
however
at the
back in
lineup.
there,
Last
two.
Saturday. Yeah, it was Sarr, Doherty, Agbadu,
Yeah, yeah,
and Totti, centre
yeah,
halves. Mullenwolf, Herver, your wing backs. Bellegarde and João Gomez in midfield. Just behind the striker was Arias and Monetti,
mm,
and Larson was ploughed the furrow on his own up front.
yeah,
But last week, our best chances were arguably Monetti earlier on,
yeah,
and Larson had a good chance, didn't he?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
It did.
those were our two presentable chances last week.
And I think he may want to go with the same 11 as he did last Saturday, because we didn't get hammered and we did keep the ball slightly
I
better.
doubt that.
But
I think at least Jackson Chatchua,
yeah,
I'd
yeah,
say,
yeah,
come in, and I'd say that
yeah. Surely
was it
Jackson was.
Hugo Bueno has looked far like, not knocking
Yeah,
David Muller-Wolfer,
yeah,
because he's played 2 games in English football,
yeah,
but um, Hugo Bueno, when he's come on, he's looked far livelier, more
yeah,
energetic,
yeah,
pacier,
yeah,
and he's looked more likely to
yeah.
set chances and
It,
less vulnerable than
that is
Wolf. I
right.
think
It,
he's still got to find his feet in English football, and I'm sure he'll make an impact. But
yeah,
as what we've seen so far, Hugo Bueno's looked far better.
he has. Yeah. The only issue I've got with Hugo Bueno is the fact that when Totti Gomez is in the team too, they seem to get mixed up with each other. And I noticed that the back end of last season, and where we conceded goals, and
Yeah,
it made
but
you.
Hugo Bueno didn't play last season for us. He
Sorry,
was on
yeah, yeah,
loan.
so it was before he went on loan. He was making a
Yeah,
few mistakes, and it made me believe that's why he went on loan to the other club, because he was making, and it was making Hugo Bueno out to be the bad person. But that said, Totti Gomez had a fantastic last bit of last season. He really, really excelled under Pereira. Do you know what I mean?
like
Um,
transformed, isn't it? Yeah.
but I like Totti Gomez. He's had a couple of bad games, but he can read the ball, and he's a very, very strong player. But so is Hugo Bueno, and he's got so much speed on him too. And I just hope if
He's
he plays,
improved, hasn't he? Yeah,
he
he's
has
improved
improved.
that
He has
season. The way he
improved.
did him
Yeah,
good, didn't he?
yeah.
He's playing in
And I
Eredivisie.
just, I'm hoping Pereira has looked at like the game against West Ham and now the game against the first two Premier League games and thinking, okay, look, we know Pereira likes fast players and tall players. We know that.
He likes, yeah, very tall players.
Yeah,
I suppose some of it's legacy of when he took over from Gary O'Neill,
yeah,
because we had horrendous statistics for
yeah,
conceding goals from
yeah,
set pieces, corners, and free kicks. It
yeah,
was like having a penalty against us, wasn't it?
yeah,
But
yeah,
he likes tall, lean, athletic, fast players, though,
yeah,
doesn't he?
yeah,
And
yeah.
hopefully they'll be better in the air.
And I think that's what he. Totti Gomez, good in the air, tall, has got pace on him too. Mascara, similar, okay. I don't think Agbadou's got pace, but he's certainly built like like
I
he's
do.
yeah.
He has, because
Do you
last
think he's got a bit
season,
of
when the
pace?
statistics were shown, he was second or third fastest in the whole Premier League. Yeah,
My word, I didn't
I
know that
think it was
statistic. Wow.
Van der Ven was the first, the
Yeah,
fastest. Then Mateus Nunes was the second,
yeah.
and I think Agbadou was the third
Third.
fastest
Wow.
measured
You know what I mean?
last season. So
You
he's
know,
deceptively quick.
and that's just phenomenal. I didn't know that. That's phenomenal. And then you've got
Yeah,
Hugo Bueno's got pace on him and can certainly whip a ball in. Rodrigo Gomes
and
can do
Jack
similar,
Stewart.
and Joel Gomez, he's got pace, but he can cut through midfields and defence. And then you got the
Yeah,
likes of
Rodrigo Gomez has got a lot of pace as well, hasn't
yeah,
he?
and just Jackson. Wow, even some of the critics, with the West Ham games were saying, look how lightning fast. And I know one of them, apparently, a well-known journalist, I can't remember his name anyway, but he made reference to say, is he actually faster than Adama? Because he's extremely
I
fast. He's
can't.
probably not as well.
It was over 36 kilometres. So I think it
Mm,
was about 36.3 kilometres per
yeah,
hour, which is 22.5
yeah,
miles an hour.
yeah, yeah,
So that was the fastest recorded in Italian
yeah.
Serie A last season,
The only
and it's
person I
just
don't think
marginally behind.
is very fast at the moment, can hold the ball up, certainly can get into good areas, and good with his head when he can be, is Lawson. He just hasn't got the speed. But
No,
that's it. That's it. So to me, looking at the way we played against West Ham, we can compete now in the Premier League because when I was looking at Man City and against what I thought, oh my word, this is bad. This is going to be a Gary O'Neill again. But when I looked against West Ham, I
we
thought, great stuff. This is what we can play at.
yeah, we made Man City look better than what they are, because they had 4 shots on target,
Yeah, yeah, we
4 goals.
did.
Because
Yeah.
subsequent game
Mm,
was at home against Tottenham, and they got
mm.
beaten fair and square, beaten good and proper 2-0.
What do you think Pereira's got? Or what can he see in Bellegarde? Because he's played quite a few games now under Pereira. I mean, do you think that do you think he can see something in Bellegarde? Because again, Bellegarde gets a
Yeah,
lot
well,
of critics.
he trains well, and I think last season he did do very well, didn't he? Because when he was played in the rightful position, because previously when O'Neill was playing, he was playing him on the wing, wasn't he? Left
Yeah.
wing, wasn't he?
Yes.
And
Yeah.
he's a
Yeah. He
centre
was.
midfielder,
Yeah.
and he did brilliant. I remember, like for instance, at home to Villa, he took the game by the scruff of the neck.
Mm.
He got a goal, but that was just one. His other goal was away at Forest, but even the other games where he didn't score, he contributed. He ran the midfield in
Yeah.
a lot of
Yeah.
those games,
Yeah.
especially in that run, that
Hmm.
6-match winning run. He did. He didn't look like the player that was under Gary O'Neill. He looked like his brother, as Jose Mourinho would say. He looked like his brother. He did look like him, but he just didn't play like him at all. It's just a
Yeah.
matter of
Yeah.
playing him in the right position, and then he's a good player. And if he keeps playing like that, he might, if he's not careful, he'll get himself in the French team or
Yeah.
Haiti if he wants to. Yeah.
Let's say you're at a function tomorrow. I look forward to the team news, and I'll be looking forward to your views as soon as the team news is released at
Yeah.
2 p.m.
Well,
tomorrow and see how it goes. But mm,
tomorrow we're playing against Everton, aren't we?
yeah,
So Everton on Sunday, I'll just tell you their lineup. Some familiar names in there: Pickford, O'Brien, Tarkowski, Keane, Garner in midfield, Gay and Iriog Bonham, Ndiaye, Dewsbury Hall, former Leicester, Grealish, then Barry, Louis Barry. I think that he's a relative of Gareth Barry, but Grealish, whenever he plays against us, he's always the pantomime villain. When he was at Villa, especially, and still when he was at Man City, I think he scored one at Molineux once. But yeah, so Pickford, O'Brien, Tarkowski, we know from his Burnley days, Michael Keane, Garner, Gay, Iriobunham, and Jai, he scored recently as well. Dewsbury Hall, we know him from Leicester, Grealish and Barry. And those amongst on the bench was Dwight McNeil, who's got a thunderous left foot. Because arguably our low point last season, or one of our worst performances for years, was away at Everton when we lost 4-0. And Craig Dawson scored 2 own goals, didn't he? I don't think we've seen him play again since. Or, that seemed to be the final straw. We were woeful that day.
We all have there's always bad games, but Everton, they won. But, there was in the new stadium, the feelings were high. But from what I gather, and I did watch the extensive highlights, Brighton were up for it. They didn't play.
They missed the penalty as well, didn't they? Welbeck.
Yeah. They weren't played off the field like some of the commentators and journalists were saying. You know what I mean? It was all about Everton being in the new stadium and the hype around it. I don't think Everton absolutely played outstanding. You know what I mean? So they're there for the taking tomorrow. That said, I don't know what your feelings are, but it wouldn't bother me if we didn't get 3 points tomorrow. But I would expect 8 points. Do you know what I mean? Just to give up, because I think
we're at home. Yeah, we're at home. They didn't finish very far above us last season. And last season we drew 1-1. It was in March at Molineux. I remember because it was a Saturday night.
Yeah.
And the previous season, it was December, just after Christmas, December 2023. We beat them 3-0. Where our defenders, Kilman and Dawson, both scored. And Pedro Neto, I think it was his comeback match. We hit the post. We had another one disallowed. The keeper made some brilliant saves. It could have been double. Could have been about 6. It was one of the best performances of that season. And so we're at home to Everton. No disrespect, because we know Wolves are Wolves, and we never get complacent. We never get overconfident. The moment we do, it bites us. But Everton is one of them games where you'd be disappointed if you lose, just put it like that. We'll be hoping to win. Smooth. I know the table doesn't really matter yet.
Based on how we've played against Man City and Bournemouth, I'd have said, it wouldn't surprise me if we lose tomorrow. But the way he's put the 11 out against the West Ham and how we played, I'm confident. However, that said, if Pereira puts out almost a similar team to what he's played against Man City and Bournemouth, then I'll be dreading it. But if he puts those players in, we can really, really upset their midfield and defence. Everton can be there for the taking. I'm going to be really interested to see what Pereira puts out tomorrow, whether it's going to be, right, that's it, almost like his favourite players, or, hold on, we want to remain in the Premier League here. We played Premier League opposition in West Ham on a Tuesday, and look at the way we played. Right, we're going for this. And let's be honest with Fowson now. They've answered the critics. They've got and bought players, albeit pretty much unknown, but they've still bought players. They still don't seem that bad at all. We've already seen the likes of Arias and Lopez in short periods, and Jackson seems absolutely brilliant. So they've now it's up to Pereira. The ball now is in Pereira's court. What can he do now? Can he serve up them servings for the magical 6 on the trot like we had last season?
Yeah, well, since the game against West Ham, which was very important, not just in terms of winning, but in terms of getting through to the other round, but psychologically, because we've suffered 2 defeats and we didn't finish last season very well. We were losing every week except for the last match where we picked up a point at home to Brentford. We finished, we lost against Man City, Brighton, Crystal Palace,
Yeah.
so on. So we're on a losing streak. So we haven't won a game for a league match for a while. So I think it's the sooner we can get that monkey off our back, the better. We really do need a win. It's important psychologically.
Yeah.
Although, let's say, it was important on Tuesday night because West Ham, they'd lost all their games as well, and so had we. So from a psychological point of view, hopefully that's given us the much needed boost. That we desperately needed.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Definitely.
But it's early days. Next
week,
it's international break. Is it home to Andorra and away to Serbia? And then the week after that, the next game after that is Newcastle away and Leeds at Molineux. I should be going to that one. But so it would be nice to get some points on the board going into the international break. Even better, 3 points.
3 points.
But come what may, we'll still keep supporting Wolves. So nice one, Jacko. And smash a like on the YouTube button and subscribe if you haven't, because when you do so, you'll receive a notification every time we put up a video. So thanks for joining us. Up the Wolves, and hopefully we'll be discussing a Wolves win tomorrow. Thanks a lot. Bye.
Bye-bye.